Okay, so geometric sequences. First, sorry, I haven't gotten these videos up, but now we go. So a sequence in which the ratio between any two terms is constant. So remember, geometric is when you're multiplying or not multiplying or subtracting, multiplying or dividing. Okay, and then the common ratio is the numerical ratio between any two terms, and it's represented by R. So for the following, first we want to determine whether it's geometric or not, and if it is, we want to find the ratio and find the next three terms. So this first one, 6 to 12, I'm multiplying by 2, multiplying by 2, multiplying by 2. So that is yes, and the ratio is 2. And those next three terms are 96, 192, and 384. Okay, this one, yes, I'm dividing by, or I'm multiplying by 1/3. So an easy way to remember these or to figure out if it's geometric. So let's do this one. Okay, so to figure out if this is geometric, let's take the second term, so 270 divided by 810. If you reduce that, you get 1/3. Okay, then let's take the next two, so 90 divided by 270. And again, you get 1/3. You can take the next one if you want to, so 30 divided by 90, and you still get 1/3. Same, 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 so yes. If you end up with a different number each time, then it's no. Okay? So that's yes, and the next three terms are 10, 10/3, and 10/9. This next one, you're multiplying by -5. And again, you could do 10 divided by -2, that's -5. -50 divided by 10 is -5. 250 divided by -50, -5. Those next three terms, -1,250, 6,250, -31,250. Okay, this next one, no, it's not. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 20 divided by 8 is like 2 point something. 60 divided by 20 is 3, so no, that is not one. This next one, yes, and it's -1/4. The next one is no. Next one, yes, 7. Next one, no. Okay? So the geometric sequence formula to find any term is a sub n equals a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1 power, where a sub 1 is the first term and r is the common ratio. And so we need to write a rule for each sequence and then find a sub 6. Okay, so if we look at number 1, a sub 1 is 1 and r is 5. Okay, because 5 divided by 1 is 5, 25 divided by 5 is 5, 125 divided by 25 is 5. So a sub n, or a sub 6, is going to be 1 times 5 to the 6 minus 1 power, which is going to be 1 times 5 to the 5th, which is 3,125. And I forgot to write the rule for this. So to do the rule, you're just going to take these and you're going to plug them in up there. So this is going to be a sub n equals a sub 1, which is 1, times 5 to the n minus 1 power. So this is just 5 to the n minus 1 power. That's our rule. Okay? This next one, a sub 1 is 130, and the ratio is 1/2. You could take 60 divided by 130 as 1/2. 32.5 divided by 65, 1/2. 16.25 divided by 32.5, 1/2. Okay, a sub 6 is 130 times 1/2 to the 6 minus 1 power, which is 130 times 1/2 to the 5th power, which is 65 over 16. Okay, and again, I forgot to write the rule. Sorry, I am forgetful. So a sub n equals the first term, so 130, times the ratio raised to the n minus 1 power. And that's our rule. Okay? Let's go to these next ones. Actually, you can do these, and those are what you should get. Okay? Now these ones, so we have to use the information to find the indicated value. So sometimes you'll be finding a sub 1, sometimes you're not. So in the first one, we're finding a sub 8. So let's do, here we have all our information that we need. We have a sub 1, and we have r, so we can just plug it in. 7 times 4 to the 8 minus 1 power, which is 7 times 4 to the 7th power, which is 114,688. Okay, for this next one, we have to find a sub 1. So we have a sub 5. And that equals a sub 1 times r to the 5 minus 1 power. Now, if you're confused why I use this, well, I use this because I have that right there. And n equals 5, so we're going to plug it in right there. And wherever n is means that that n also has to be 5. Okay, so that's why that's a 5 and that's a 5. Okay? Now, a sub 5, that's negative 68, equals a sub 1 times r is negative 0.5, and then 5 minus 1 is 4. And we're going to solve this out for a sub 1. So negative 0.5 to the 4th power is 0.0625. Then we can divide that over, and you get negative 1,088. So a sub 1 equals negative 1,088. Okay? Let's do Q. We need to find the common ratio first. So I'm going to use a sub 4 equals a sub 1 times r to the 4 minus 1 power. And I'm using 4 because that's what was given to me. So that's 4,459 equals 13 times r to the 3rd power. Divide by 13 and you get 343 equals r to the 3rd power. Now you could cube root this, or you could just raise it to the 1/3 power. Cube root and then 1/3, raising something to the 1/3 power is the same exact thing. So r equals 7. Now that's not what we were trying to find. We needed to find that though in order to find what we were trying to find, which is a sub 3. So a sub 3 equals 13 times 7 to the 3 minus 1 power, which is 13 times 7 to the 2nd power, which is 637. Okay, this next one's a little tricky, so just stick with me through this. So normally you have a sub 1, a sub 2, a sub 3, a sub 4, a sub 5, a sub 6. But they did not give us a sub 1 here, and we're not finding a sub 1. So if we put this in, we have a sub 1, and then a sub 2 is 6. We don't know 3, we don't know 4. We know that 5 is 0.048, and then a sub 6. So just for this first step, just to find the ratio, let's say that a sub 1 is 6, and a sub 4 is 0.048. Okay, so we're just going to switch this. We're just kind of shifting this over. So this is my A1, A2, A3, A4. And this is just to find the ratio. This is only to find that ratio there. Okay. So now I'm going to do a sub 4 equals a sub 1 times r to the 4 minus 1 power, which that's going to be 0.048 equals 6 times r to the 3rd power. Divide by 6, you get 0.008 equals r to the 3rd power. Raise it to the 1/3, and you get r equals 0.2. Okay, but now we're really trying to find the real a sub 4. So I found the ratio. Now let's find, we have to go back to our original values to find the real 4th term. So a sub, why am I doing 5? Oh my word. Okay, let's not do that one because we're trying to find 4. So a sub 4 equals a sub 1, which, oh, I'm just kidding. I know what I'm doing. Dang it. This is a long problem. Okay, so let's see. We don't know a sub 1. Okay, so we have to find a sub 1. And I know a sub 5 is 0.048. Okay, so I'm plugging that in right there. So 0.048 equals a sub 1 times 0.2 to the 4th power. 0.2 to the 4th power is 0.0016. Divide that over and you get a sub 1 equals 30. Okay, that's why I did that, because we still didn't know a sub 1, so we were missing a sub 1 and we were missing r from this equation right there. Okay, sorry, kind of forgot what I was doing. If I lost you, ask me in class, I'll explain it again. And now we're finding a sub 4. So a sub 4 equals 30 times 0.2 to the 4 minus 1 power, which equals 0.24. Okay? Now let's do this application. So Jackson bought a brand new car for $38,000, If the car depreciates in value by 20% each year, what will the car be worth in 8 years? So if it depreciates, that means it goes down by 20% each year. The value of it does. So for each consecutive year, the value is 80% of the previous year. Okay, and if we convert 80% to a decimal, that's going to be 0.8. So my initial value, or my starting value, is 3,800, or 38,000, sorry. My rate, or my ratio, is 0.8. And the number of years is 8, so that's why my n is 8. So we're going to have 38,000 times 0.8 to the 8 minus 1 power, which ends up being 7,969 and 18 cents. Okay, so that car went down in value like a lot, a whole lot. Okay, remember to take the quiz. Thank you guys, you're awesome. Okay, bye.